Nobody can tell me that God is not patient. 'Cause girl, with you, he took his time. They cannot convince me.
Welcome to Shattering Limitations, where we don't stop until it happens, keep going when it does. Hosted by your one and only Fiera McKnight. This is my first episode of my podcast. I don't know how this is going to go, but I have faith. I'm going to let the Spirit use me, And first, I want to give honor to God for even blessing me with this opportunity. And, it's only up from here. So, to get started with what we're going to be talking about today is like how to stay motivated throughout trials and tribulations. Now, I know a lot of people out there, I already know how it is. Like, when you're going through a tough time, it's like there's no sort of light. Like you just can't see the outcome. And that's actually what worries you. You can't see the outcome. But to start this whole thing off, I want to start by saying that you have to understand that your current situation is not the end of your story, but yet the beginning of a new chapter. You feel me? Because a lot of times when we think we're going through something, we always automatically assume that it's the end, but it's not. And we have to understand, like, most of what we go through is not meant to destroy us, but yet to enrich us. If we don't go through something, how do we expect to grow? You feel me? Like, if we don't go through nothing in life, how do we expect to grow? Or how do we expect to develop our own character? So it's like, we have to understand, like, this is not the end. This is just the beginning of a new chapter. Because, I promise you, this next chapter, we gonna go off. Y'all already know, like, once you get out that dark hole, what you got planned next, you gonna pop off for real. So it's like, it's not even meant to destroy you, but it meant to enrich you, to build you up. Because think about it, every time you go through, a lot of people assume that healing is linear, but it's not. It's not. I don't know now one person that goes through something and just be fine the rest of their entire lives. It don't work like that. It don't work like that at all. I feel like healing is a sort of like stairs. Like, you gonna go up, but you gonna have a break where something else comes. Because life is a full circle. Things gonna keep coming, and every time it comes, you gonna have to keep going. You can't stop. You really can't stop. So it's like, you're going to go up, you're going to pause, break. You're going to go up, you're going to pause, break. But what you're not realizing is those breaks is the mishaps. When you have to learn another lesson. See it as that. See your healing journey as learning lessons in order to, like, building up blocks. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, whatever you're going through right now is not meant to destroy you. And then you have to also keep in mind that the situation that you're stuck in right now, if you gave up, how would you ever know the outcome? How would you ever know the outcome? For example, if I'm in the middle of the ocean and I see the shore over there, why I'm not gonna swim? Why I'm not gonna swim to the shore? Why I'm not gonna swim to see what's on the shore? So why would we give up in the middle? Just like someone said, if I'm already living in hell, why would I stop here? So it's like, you have to, this roadblock right here is not your story. It's not the end of it. Baby, it's a comma. This is a comma. This is not a period. Another thing I would like to say is, like, sometimes God will put you through a test in order to reveal your anointing. God will put you through a test in order to reveal your anointing. Because sometimes we don't even know how powerful we is. We don't even know the gifts we carry until we go through something. When you go through something, that's the exact moment when you're exposed to all of that. See what I'm saying? So don't think that he just putting you through something because, you did bad, so he punishing you for this. No. Whatever God puts you through, he wants you to learn something from it. He knows that once you get out of the situation that you're in, you left with some sort of wisdom. You won because you left with the wisdom that you didn't have before you entered it. You see what I'm saying? So we have to understand, like, all his tests that he put us through have a reason. And with these reasons, we have to trust him without knowing his reason behind it. Because maybe he sees things that we don't see. You see what I'm saying? He sees things that we don't see. So maybe he building us up to prepare us for what's to come. And that's something that we always have to remember. So don't think of it as the tough situation that you're going through right now is just to end you or break you. No, he's building you up. He's building you up. If he wasn't not to build you up, what progress will you have made? You see what I'm saying? What progress would you have developed? So we have to really keep in mind of his way of doing things. It's not, and of course, it's okay to be upset at him sometimes. Be like, why you gotta do this? Why you gotta do? But one thing for sure, God knows what he doing. He knows what he's doing, and I'm trying to tell you. And sometimes we have to let him handle things instead of trying to put things into our own hands. Because the moment that we begin to put things into our own hands is the moment we jeopardize his plans for us. You delay your own self by thinking that you can do something that he was already handling. You see what I'm saying? So now, since you done interrupt what he was doing, he have to reroute the path for you. So we really have to trust him when he taking matters into his own hand, because a lot of times things not going to be in our control, and we have to trust what he's doing. I think that's another thing with understanding, like, you have to just sit down sometimes and be like, God, I don't know what you're doing, but I trust you. And we also have to understand that faith without works is dead. We really have to help God as if we want the best for ourselves, because we could want something when we going through something, but we want him to do all the work. We want him to do all the work. We are not taking the time to apply the tools that he had provided us. Whole time, a lot of times, the stuff that we be looking for, the answers that we be looking for, the signs from God that we be looking for, he already provided us with the tools to use. It be right in front of us the whole time, but it's up to us if we want to pick up those tools and, make things happen. You can't expect him to do everything on his own. Of course, he's an amazing God. He gonna make sure his child is good. But you have to help him as much as you want to help yourself. He'll provide us with the tools. He would never forsake us. So you have to remember that. I feel like another thing, when we going through tough times, we have to start setting boundaries. Because a lot of times there'll be a lot of weak links around us that's gonna make sure we stay in that same predicament. Whole time, the people, how do I say this? How do I say? You have to separate yourself from people who enjoy seeing you at your lowest. Think about it. You have everybody when you at your lowest. Everybody be surrounded with you when you at your lowest. But once you stand up and start moving and progressing and stuff, you see them people drop out one by one by one. So we have to make sure we recognize when we at our lowest point in life that we separate ourselves from these people who enjoy us being at the low, they not even adding on to you to make sure that you get better, but yet they're making sure that you stay in the same predicament that you're currently in. So we have to separate ourselves from weak links like that. We have to start setting boundaries. And it's okay if you love that person a lot. Just be like, hey man, I appreciate you as a friend, but I just need some space. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when you ask for space from certain people like that, they reveal their true colors on their own. Because anybody who respect you is going to respect your boundaries, and they're going to understand every point that you're coming from. So we have to make sure that we set those boundaries when we are at our lowest point in life, because everybody, they'll be with you when you're down, but they're not going to be with you when you're up. I promise you. Now this one, this right here, this is something that I have to say. You have to remove the people that put you in this predicament in the first place. it's okay if you got a big heart, but if someone constantly putting you in this predicament is the cause of all this, you have to remove yourself from it. It don't matter if it's permanent or temporary, but you have to do what's best for you right now. Like you really have to stand on business for real. Like you have to remove yourself from those people, because the more that you keep those people around after they already put you in this low situation, you won't stay in that low situation. You have to remove yourself in order to grow. That's just like watering a plant with no sunlight. I'm saying, so it's like you have to remove the people that put you in this predicament in the first place, because they're only gonna keep you there. They're not gonna help you. A person could tell you everything that you want to hear, but if the actions don't apply to it, what was solved? What's the difference? So you really have to remove yourself from people that try to just put you in this situation over and over and over. And sometimes we go and we pray to God and we be like, God, please stop this hurt, stop this pain. But he done gave you multiple times. He done gave you an open door so you could see that this person that you keeping in your life, that you just can't imagine to be without, he done show you multiple times why he need you to let this person go in order for you to flourish. Because you cannot flourish if you allowing that person to hold you down, hold you in the same predicament, stop you from seeing everything else. You have to remove this person. Another thing that I want to get to, now this one right here, now I know I said this about the last one, but this one right here, don't allow other people to tell you how you should feel. Listen, nobody is you. Nobody knows what you go through. Nobody feels what you feel. So do not let another person tell you how you should react or how you should feel. If you want to cry every single day until you get over it, cry, because I promise you God hears those tears. God see those tears as praise. So don't never let another person tell you, say, oh, you need to stop crying over this and that. You don't need to feel that way. You need to stand up. You need to get your revenge. Nah, don't allow another person to tell you what to do or how to feel, because they ain't you. He's not you. So don't ever let another person tell you how you feel. I used to have people always come to me telling me how I should move, or I shouldn't let that slide, or how they better than me and whatnot. That's fine. That's you. That's not me. I have a different heart. I move differently. I don't take things and then just throw them away. No, I have to process everything that just happened. Like I'm the type of person that have to process these things. I have to gain an understanding to understand, like, why did this happen? Like, but most of the time I have to stop myself from even asking that, like, why did this happen? Because sometimes it's not even meant for me to understand. But I refuse to let another person tell me how I should feel, because at the end of the day, you are not me. You are not me. You are not in my shoes. You don't know what I've been through behind doors to make me even react like this. So don't never allow another person to tell you how you should feel. And this next one, I feel like this is something that I struggle with so bad, bro. I struggle with it so bad. And that's like having false hope, man. False hope. Y'all don't understand, like, I feel like false hope is just in denial. Like, false hope is just really in denial. Things didn't go the way that you expected, or the way that you imagined. Because a lot of time we live in fairy tales. We come up with our own scenario, our own fairy tale, how we believe things should go, or how we want things should go, rather than it actually being. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand, like, let go of the what ifs, or just like letting things be. Because at the end of the day, searching for answers that's not there is only leading you in denial. That's giving you false hope. That person, place, or thing already show you what things were, what it is. Take it for what it is, because you present it with something. You trying to go around it to find some sort of answer, but the answer was already given to you. The answer was right in front of you, and that's all you need. It's no need to go look for another answer. And that's really what's holding us back. Like, and I think being in denial because of that false hope is what lacks our confidence. That's like when we trying to get out of a dark hole, that's what lacks our confidence. Because we expect say, well, maybe this will happen soon, or maybe they just don't understand what they have done, or maybe they just need time. If we keep giving ourselves that false hope, we disappoint ourselves each time by even believing that. That's where we lack the confidence. That's where we lose our motivation in coming out of this dark hole, because we believe in scenarios that are not there. We believe in false hope, and that's one thing that we have to let go. We can't keep holding on to that. Because how can you expect yourself to be motivated by false accusations? You know what I'm saying? How can you motivate yourself by believing something that's not there? You're going to disappoint yourself each time. And it's like, that's when we really have to accept things for what it is. Because what's shown to us is what it is. And it's never going to be nothing different from all of that. It already happened. And that's what we have to accept. And once we come to acceptance with what has happened, we have to change our routine. Because a lot of times when we go through tough times, we try to play tough. We try to play tough. We're like, man, I wish I was my old self. I wouldn't have let this slide. Or if I was my old self, I'm going back to the old me. Ain't nobody crossed me when I was the old me. Baby, let that old you go. Because when you go through situations, it could be past relationship, deaths, anything you could think of. When we run into things like that, it breaks us down. So how can we get back to the old person before of what was already there? We can't. We just simply can't. Because when you reach a new situation, you have to learn how to deal with that situation. Once you get out of that situation, you is a new person. You cannot go back to the person you was before that hurt. That's impossible. You cannot. Every time we go through a situation that breaks it down, it gives us wisdom. It gives us a different outlook on life. It changes us mentally, physically, and emotionally. It changes us. So it's impossible to go back to your old self. If you try to even attempt to go back to your old self, you would just only be pretending for yourself, because it's impossible. Every situation you go to, you develop into a new person, because you witness a change in life. And it's like, sometimes those situations change you for the better or they change you for the worse, but you are in control of your own life. So you have to choose if you want to be better or if you want to be worse. And that comes with changing your routine. If you don't like how things were before, create a new routine that you would like. Try new things that you would like. Try stepping out your comfort zone some. And you will see that the routine that you had before is nothing compared to the one that you have now. Because now in this new one, you done discover new things that you're interested in. So you're not going to be interested in the old stuff that you used to do. You don't find new things to be interested in. And once you get into the new routine, you'll beginning to learn so much about yourself. Because once we create new routines, we learn new things about ourselves we never even knew was there. We never knew was there. Like, I'm trying to tell you, like, hey, I went through a phase or whatever where, I got my heart broken real bad, whoop-de-whoop, whatever the case may be. And I say, you know what? I ain't about to sit in this room crying 24/7. I took my behind outside and I went to sit in some grass. I sure did. Went to go sit in some grass, rub the grass, touch the grass, lay in the grass, did everything in the grass. I had to make things work. You know what I'm saying? I had to make things work. I had to find some sort of comfort. And like sitting in the sun, like, I started reading. Heck, I even had people to come join me on the grass. I started preaching out there. Like, I done created a whole routine. And ever since I created that new routine, I became a new person. Like, at one point I was like, dang, who is this new Fiera? Like, dang, girl, like I like you, like. And so like I stuck with that new routine, and eventually I had to create another routine. But the routine that I created after that one, it just keep making me better and better and better, baby. I'm growing. I haven't reversed yet, and if I did reverse, I probably was doing it for the plot, most likely. But nah, I ain't reversed yet. Like, I kept going up, and like that's what I mean. Like, you have to create a whole new routine. Like, you really have to let go of that. Oh, I want to be the old me, and all. Nah, you gotta let that go. You gotta let that go. They ain't you no more. And finally, to the last point that I want to get to is when God says it's done. Baby, you done been in that storm for days, weeks, months, years. You done been in that storm so long, not having a clue of what was going on. But God said it's done. You stayed motivated. You stood on all 10 toes despite what was going on. God saw you. He said it's done. And because you have faith in him, he was able to make everything line up for you, baby. Your blessing is on the way. He said it's done. Like, baby, them dark clouds that you was under, they about to move. Like, he said it's done. And it's like, when God said it's done, we have to reflect on if we had thanked him beforehand, through, and after. Because a lot of times when we going through something, we be so blind where we can't see we can't even see like what's going on. Whole time we thinking God have forgotten us when he's quiet while we going through this test. He's behind doors making sure everything aligned for you when it's ready. Because one thing about it, he's an on-time God. I promise you. So when you're going through those hard times, you have to thank him. Be like, God, I don't know what's going on right now. I don't know why I'm going through all of this. I don't know what you got planned, but I trust you. And because I trust you, I thank you for whatever you have waiting on me. That's what you have to say. Because at the end of the day, none of us know what God's got planned. And we can't rush his work. That's when we in these dark season stuff, he teaches us patience. He teaches us to be still. Because one thing about it, everything that you lost, he gonna replace 10 times more. So we gotta thank him before we get in that predicament. We have to thank him when we in that predicament. We have to thank him after that predicament, because we just don't know. We just don't know. So it's like, to come and say like, oh, this man, you really, like I said at the beginning, you have to understand that your current situation is not the end of your story, but it's the beginning of a new chapter. And for me, I had to realize that for myself. Like, I had to understand that, think about everything that you have been through. Think about everything that you thought that you couldn't even come out of, but you came. Think about it. Look at that person where you once was before and look at you now. Would you say that all of it was worth it? And that's why I always tell people, like, they'll be like, man, Fiera, I'm so proud of you. I sat back and I watch you grow. I watch you become into the person that you are today. And it's like, years ago from now, I started to live my life with no regrets. I had no choice but to. Once I seen what God did for me, once I see what he's still doing for me, even now, I don't even know what he's about to do for me, but I'm thankful. And that's one thing that we always have to remember, man. God is an amazing God, and he works in mysterious ways. So when you trying to stay motivated in these trials and tribulations, please understand that ain't nothing too big or too little for God. As long as you remember that God is on your side, that's the only motivation you need. You don't need everybody to be in your ear, or you don't need to go out try to seek some sort of validation or some sort of comfort. When you have God on your side, that's the only motivation that you need. Because, baby, storms don't last forever. When that sunshine and rainbow gonna come, and that's something God promises. And we have to believe that. So to end this off, I just want to say, y'all stay prayed up, man, because I know times out here get rough and everything, but one thing I know for sure, it's gonna be alright. Alright, I'm out.
He's not omnipresent, 'cause through your face I see